Jinwoo answered, "Naturally, a hunter hunts monsters. If the suspect is truly a monster, then I will eliminate him myself. But if he is not a monster and is indeed my father, then I will make sure to hunt down the hunters. I will protect my family, even if it means making every hunter in the world my enemy." After the conference ended, Jinwoo walked out of the room with Adam. Adam said, "I never expected Hunter Sung to actually say something like that in front of the 500 strongest hunters from 120 countries. I think only 2 hunters would dare say that. Thomas Andre and you. But unfortunately, Thomas is currently hospitalized." While Adam and Jinwoo were talking, they were approached by Hunter Liu Zhigang, the national level hunter from China. Liu Zhigang then spoke in Chinese. Adam translated. He said he once encountered a giant monster that fled across the sea to China. He was also shocked because he realized the giant monster was stronger than he expected. The battle became more difficult because it happened in the water. Since that day, he has wanted to meet Hunter Sung. He also wants to know what kind of hunter could defeat such powerful monsters so easily. He said he was also very pleased that you were decisive in defeating Thomas Andre. He said Thomas Andre was indeed very wrong at that time. Liu Zhigang then offered to shake hands with Jinwoo. Jinwoo thought, "I thought he was a person with a bad attitude, but it turns out he's an interesting person." Jinwoo then shook hands with him. Liu Zhigang then left, saying, "I hope that Suspect S is not a member of your family, Hunter Sung." After that, the Hunter Bureau chairman contacted Jinwoo and took him somewhere to convey important information. Soon after, Jinwoo was taken to a hotel and met again with Madame Sellner. Madame Sellner smiled and said, "It's been a long time, Hunter Sung." Jinwoo replied, "I never expected to meet you again, Madame Sellner." Madame Sellner then conveyed something to Jinwoo that lately she had been having the same dreams. "My dreams show that these hunters are being hunted by a mysterious figure. A few days later, my dreams truly come true, as happened with Christopher. One by one, the strongest protecting the world will die. The mysterious figure hunting these hunters will not stop until its goal is fulfilled." After hearing all that, Jinwoo asked, "So, do you mean I should be cautious of them?" Madame Sellner answered, "No, Hunter Sung. On the contrary, I want to ask you to protect the hunters. I have also memorized the hunters who keep appearing in my dreams." Jinwoo asked, "Why are you asking me to protect the hunters?" Madame Sellner answered that she found the same power within Hunter Sung as the power hunting the hunters in her dreams. Jinwoo muttered to himself, "Is it possible?" Could Madame Sellner have seen the power of the Shadow Monarch that time? If the power hunting the hunters is the same as mine, then the figures hunting the hunters are the monarchs. The Hunter Bureau chairman said, "Their figures exceed ordinary hunters, which is why a hunter with equivalent power is needed to stop them. To be frank, we didn't believe that you were the only one who could protect the hunters. But I began to change my mind after seeing your previous battle with Thomas Andre. Of course, we are not asking for your help for free. If Hunter Sung desires anything, we will try to provide whatever Hunter Sung wants. Even the runestone of the dragon's wrath will be given. This world has blessed the hunters, and the hunters must protect the world with their power. The world will not survive if they perish." Jinwoo lowered his head and answered, "I'm sorry, Chairman. I cannot do that because I do not yet know who my enemy is. I must take my leave." Of course, the Hunter Bureau chairman and the others were disappointed by Jinwoo's words. However, before Jinwoo left the room, he stopped for a moment and said, "Mr. Adam, can you give me the list of hunters you want me to protect later? And if possible, give me a chance to meet them." Hearing that, Adam smiled and answered, "Certainly, Hunter Sung." After receiving the request from the head of the American Hunter Bureau to protect the hunters, that evening, Jinwoo attended a dinner party held for the participants of the international conference. Seeing Jinwoo, who had recovered completely like a beast, was also very moving when he heard that his mentor had fought Thomas Andre for his sake. During the banquet, Adam approached Jinwoo with a notebook containing a list of high-ranking hunters who needed protection. The list showed first place was Thomas Andre, second was Lizzie Gang, third was Christopher Reed, fourth was Siddharth Bachchan, and so on. But because Jinwoo was too lazy to memorize all the names, he instead placed his shadow soldiers on everyone in the room. This way, Jinwoo could identify friend or foe and know how to fight them. A moment later, Thomas Andre grabbed Jinwoo with one hand, which was still bandaged. Thomas said, "Hunter Sung Jinwoo, let me ask you something. The wounds I received were so severe that even high-ranking healer hunters struggled to heal me. At that time, you could have annihilated my entire guild after defeating me. Yet in such a situation, not a single one of my members died except for Huang Dongshu, who was the root of the problem. Hunter Sung, why did you spare our lives? Jinwoo looked at Thomas and answered, because you didn't make a mistake worthy of a death sentence. Hearing that answer, Thomas paused for a moment and then turned away. I see. After my hand heals, I'd like to have a meal with you, Hunter Sung. If you give your contact information to my assistant, I'll contact you later. Thomas then left. On the other side, Laura approached Jinwoo and said, actually, the master has shown his respect to you, Hunter Sung. No matter how he may appear, he is actually quite shy. So, may I have your contact information, Hunter Sung? The master wishes to give you a gift as a token of his gratitude. If there's anything you want, please just tell me. Because Laura was slightly insistent, Jinwoo couldn't refuse. He thought for a moment and said, perhaps I would like a dagger. Laura replied, very well, I understand, Mr. Sung. Laura then left. After the matter with Thomas Andre was concluded, Adam was about to escort Jinwoo to meet the hunters on the list. However, Jinwoo replied that it wasn't necessary. Jinwoo then mentioned that he didn't see the 6th ranked hunter here. Huh? How did you know, Hunter Song? Adam was slightly surprised. It's just that a few days before the conference, we lost contact with him. Even the secret agents and the Brazilian government haven't found his whereabouts yet. Jinwoo felt that he might have been killed. The scene then shifted to Korea, specifically to Chairman Go Gun-hee's office. He was complaining about his heart pounding rapidly since the previous day. Although his heart had been like that for a long time, he felt it had gotten worse. Is this my limit? The doctor said before that my life would be over in 6 months if I continued this job. But in reality, 2 years have already passed. I should be grateful I've made it this far. However, suddenly, the area around the building abruptly turned dark. Of course, Chairman Go Gun-hee was startled by this situation. What in the world? How did this happen? At that moment, a mysterious figure appeared sitting in front of Go Gun-hee, smiling with a sinister grin. Chairman Go Gun-hee thought to himself, who is this? I couldn't sense his arrival. He's not an enemy I can face. Am I dreaming right now? The figure then took out an ice crystal in his hand and said, the connection of this place has been severed from the outside world. And instantly, an attack was launched, grazing Go Gun-hee's shoulder. The graze from the attack immediately froze and turned into an ice crystal. The figure said, do you think this pain is also from a dream? Sweating coldly, Go Gun-hee asked, who are you, really? The figure then stood up, releasing his powerful aura. I wanted you to realize it on your own, but in the end, you're just an ordinary human. I don't like playing with weak humans, so show yourself, oh brightest fragment of light. Are you afraid of damaging your vessel, rulers? If you continue to hide and hold back, your vessel will die soon. The figure then created an ice magic spell in his hand and immediately fired it towards Go Gun-hee. And an explosion occurred. However, at that moment, a sharp glint of eyes appeared from within the smoke. But that wasn't all. The figure launched another attack. Surprisingly, Go Gun-hee was able to block the attack very easily. It turned out that Go Gun-hee was one of the brightest fragments of the rulers, and the ruler within him had taken over Go Gun-hee's consciousness. He said, you've sealed the association president's room and trapped me inside. You're quite cunning. The figure before him said, finally, I've found you, 7. Among you 7, we have already destroyed 2 other ruler fragments. And now I will destroy you without remorse. Ha! Just try if you can, Monarch. The figure before him was one of the 9 monarchs, the Ice Monarch or Frost Monarch. They then stared at each other and released their powerful auras against one another. The Ice Monarch said, are you sure you want to fight me? I have fully mastered my vessel, while you are merely borrowing a vessel that is already damaged. The Ice Monarch then raised his hand and launched an attack. An ice crystal shot straight towards Go Gun-hee. However, with Go Gun-hee's incredibly strong physical power, he easily shattered the ice and immediately closed in on the Ice Monarch to deliver a punch. But the Ice Monarch barely dodged it and counterattacked. An ice attack was launched so fast that it hit Go Gun-hee's shoulder. But Go Gun-hee didn't remain idle. He counterattacked with his punch. Seeing this, the Ice Monarch immediately froze Go Gun-hee's arm, turning it into an ice crystal. Go Gun-hee grew even more furious until the ice on his hand shattered. They exchanged blows fiercely with each other. The ruler within Go Gun-hee thought, as long as I can move this vessel, I must end this fight quickly. Punch after punch was launched, but again and again, the Ice Monarch kept blocking every attack. However, just as Go Gunhee was about to attack again, his body suddenly weakened and became immobile. Damn, is this the limit of my vessel? Seeing this, the Ice Monarch smiled and said, "It seems that's the limit of your vessel. How pitiful, O brightest fragment of light." And instantly the Ice Monarch suddenly vanished from sight. In the blink of an eye, he was in front of Go Gunhee and launched a decisive attack. The attack pierced through Go Gunhee's heart, causing him to vomit blood from his mouth. The Ice Monarch smiled and said, "Who knows when you'll find a new vessel again, but before you can find a new one, our army will surely be in this world. This entire world will be destroyed before your forces arrive. It's your own fault for trying to protect this world." However, Go Gunhee still didn't give up. He then grabbed the Ice Monarch's hand, which was still lodged in his body. "Did you think I would fight you like this without a plan? It's the same as our mistake of not realizing your arrival. You also made one mistake." With all his remaining strength, Go Gunhee launched a blast of light waves. Unfortunately, the Ice Monarch managed to dodge it, but in truth, Go Gunhee's target wasn't the Ice Monarch. It was to destroy the dimensional wall sealing the room. A crack appeared there. "Now get out!" And at that moment, an Ant Shadow Soldier emerged from Go Gunhee's shadow and immediately left the building. On the other side, the Ice Monarch realized something. Wait a minute. Don't tell me that was a Shadow Soldier. Damn it! He then chased after the Shadow Soldier that had left. From the air, the Ice Monarch unleashed an Ice Scythe to eliminate the Ant Shadow Soldiers. Shing. Surprisingly, the Ice Monarch's Ice Slash was blocked by someone. It turned out to be Jinwoo, who had instantly moved to the location with the Ant Shadow Soldiers. Jinwoo grabbed it and said, "Who are you? Are you an elf? An ice user?" The Ice Monarch looked pained and said, "Hey, Shadow Monarch, why didn't you gather us after amassing so many soldiers? Don't tell me, you've betrayed us." And instantly the Ice Monarch spewed ice from his mouth, creating an iceberg and successfully freezing Jinwoo's right hand. Jinwoo then drew his daggers and shattered the ice. The Ice Monarch said, "Stop. My presence here this time isn't for an all-out battle." "Didn't you come here to save the human over there?" Jinwoo was suddenly startled when he saw Chairman Go Gunhee severely wounded. The Ice Monarch then created an ice spear aimed at Chairman Go Gunhee. "Choose, fight me or save him." The ice spear was immediately launched towards the helpless Chairman Go Gunhee. In response, Jinwoo activated his skill, Monarch's Authority, to stop the spear. However, a system message appeared. The target's magical power can nullify the skill Monarch's Authority. Damn it, this attack can't be stopped easily. The Ice Monarch smiled. Jinwoo dashed forward, throwing his dagger to deflect the spear. But incredibly, the spear changed direction to avoid Jinwoo's dagger. Jinwoo then quickly moved, positioning himself behind the spear and catching it. On the other side, the Ice Monarch had opened a gate to escape. Seeing this, Jinwoo was furious and threw all his daggers. In an instant, all of Jinwoo's daggers shot toward the Ice Monarch at incredible speed. As a result, one of Jinwoo's daggers managed to hit the Ice Monarch's back. Ah, damn it! Even though it's just a vessel, I can feel the pain. Before the Ice Monarch completely left, he said to Jinwoo, "I am the Ice Monarch. I will wait for the day your shadows emerge once more. For now, I shall retreat. Consider that dying man a gift from me to become your Shadow Soldier." Hearing this, Jinwoo was enraged and shouted, "You bastard!" After the Ice Monarch left, Jinwoo immediately checked on Chairman Go Gunhee's critical condition. Damn it, why did this happen? I can't feel the signal from my shadow. Could it be because Baru was blocking it? Seeing Chairman Go Gunhee's condition, Jinwoo felt it was impossible to recover with potions alone. Jinwoo then shouted for Baru. "Baru, come here!" Instantly, Baru, who was tasked with protecting Gina, rushed to his king's location. After Baru arrived, Jinwoo ordered him to heal Chairman Go Gunhee. Baru began using his healing magic. However, Baru said, "I apologize, my king. My healing magic isn't working at all." Chairman Go Gunhee's face grew increasingly pale. With no other options left, Jinwoo took out a bottle of holy water of life. "There's no other way. I have to save the chairman." But Chairman Go Gunhee stopped Jinwoo. "Don't use that. Save it. Thank you for coming for me." Jinwoo said, "Chairman, hold on a little longer. I'll take you to the hospital immediately." Gasping, the chairman said, It's useless. There's no way to heal wounds from an attack like this. And I'm glad you are here. I want to tell you something about our fight with them and what we must do. I believe that you have the power." So actually, the gates and dungeons are things used to protect us. Someday a moment will surely come when you must make a choice. And I beg you, please remain on humanity's side. To be honest, I really wanted to fight alongside a young man like you, but it's impossible with this body. I have no regrets left. I can entrust everything to a young man like you. Gun-Hee's consciousness slowly began to fade. Finally, Chairman Go Gun-Hee closed his eyes forever. The news of Chairman Go Kun-Hee's death has now spread, plunging Korea into deep mourning. Meanwhile, at the same time, other countries are also experiencing tragic news. A Brazilian national-level hunter named Jonas was found lifeless by a river. Similarly, the death of the American national-level hunter Christopher Red has been announced. The world is beginning to be gripped by panic upon hearing the news of national-level hunters being broadcast one after another. If the hunters are gone, who will the people turn to for protection? Amid the drizzle, Chairman Go Gun-Hee's funeral procession took place. Jinwoo and other hunters were attending the funeral service. Woo Jin-chul looked utterly frustrated and distraught. Hunter sung, "Wasn't it a monster that killed the chairman? Couldn't you handle it?" Jinwoo replied that he was too late. Right when I arrived, the chairman was already on the verge of being helpless in the pouring rain. Jin-chul cried, "I still can't believe it." Back then, he told me to go home quickly and said he wanted to hear my stories about America, but thank you sincerely for trying to protect the chairman until his last breath. Filled with anger and sorrow, Jinwoo answered, "I swear I will take the life of the monster that killed the chairman." Vice Chairman Jin-chul, can you gather the reporters later? After Chairman Go Gun-Hee's funeral concluded, Jinwoo held a press conference to announce something to the world. In front of the media, Jinwoo stated that the world's situation is in chaos. A group of monsters with high strength and intelligence is targeting national-level hunters from various countries. They are stronger than any hunters out there and will continue to hunt using various methods. A reporter asked, "Do you mean that the group of monsters that killed Chairman Go Kun-Hee is one of them?" Jinwoo replied, "That's correct. They are extremely swift in sealing spaces and trapping their prey. Therefore, for those who feel they are targets of these monsters, I suggest you stay with comrades who can protect you. But for those of you who don't have reliable comrades, please contact me through the Korean Hunter Association. I will protect you." Meanwhile, elsewhere, several mysterious figures were seen gathering in a place like a cave. It turned out they were the monarchs. The ace monarch stated that the shadow monarch has appeared on the surface. Huh? What do you mean? Isn't there no vessel on the surface capable of containing the shadow monarch's power? And because of that, the destruction monarch, who is his equal, still doesn't have a vessel either. The ice monarch said, "I've seen him myself. He radiates a threat more dangerous than the brightest shard of light. But I will deal with him." "Can you help me?" A monarch replied, "Fighting him is like delivering ourselves to our deaths. Your opponent is a monarch who relies on the souls of the dead and is known as the strongest among the 9 monarchs. Why don't we just wait for the destruction monarch to arrive?" The ice monarch answered, "We are indeed in a race, but we can't just sit idle and wait for the destruction monarch's arrival. I believe now is the perfect time to crush the shadow monarch while he is still human. So, help me. I will take responsibility for sending him back to oblivion. I won't join. I also don't want to end up like the White Flames monarch. You should know what happened to the White Flames monarch after he was defeated. Because the shadow monarch and the architect collaborated, he can create copies of us. I don't want to become a tool in his world." The 2 monarchs then left the gathering. "Cowards," uttered the beast monarch. The beast monarch then asked, "What proof is there that he is still human?" The ice monarch then showed a poisoned dagger belonging to Jinwoo. "Look, this weapon is poisoned. It's not like the weapons normally used by the shadow monarch." Seeing this, a monarch smiled and said, "If the shadow monarch is truly relying on a human body, it's impossible for him to use a poisoned weapon like this. All right, I will help you. Let's kill the shadow monarch." The scene then shifts back to the situation in Korea. In the heavy rain, Jinwoo stood on a tall building, searching for the whereabouts of the monarchs. He thought to himself, the magical power of the monarchs is undetectable. It seems impossible to find them this way. Because the monarchs are merely spiritual bodies and have no shadows, there is no way to track them. But that's fine. As long as I am a hunter, I will never let my prey escape. In short, a week after Chairman Go Gun-Hee's death, the association held a meeting to discuss the vacant position of association chairman. They now needed a successor to fill the chairman's position. Chairman Go Gun-hee was an S-rank hunter capable of overseeing the 5 major guilds. We've truly lost a great figure like him. Now, who can control the 5 major guild powers in Korea? After a lengthy discussion, an executive recommended Woo Jin-chul as the new chairman of the Korean Hunter Association. Hearing this, Woo Jin-chul was shocked. Why me? There should still be many capable people here who can replace the chairman. An executive answered, I and the other executives lack the power to mobilize the Korean hunters. However, Chairman Woo Jin-chul, you possess that power. You have many connections with Korea's major guilds. You even have a good relationship with Hunter Sung Jinwoo. Of course, we won't force this decision on you. But would you be willing to consider accepting this position after careful thought? The scene then shifts to America, specifically to the Scavenger Guild headquarters. Thomas and Laura were seen heading to an underground room. Under tight security, they entered a room, and right before them, a terrifying aura emanated from an object. Thomas smiled and said, As always, it's amazing. Laura said, There are only 2 in the entire world, and I'm convinced that number will remain the same in the future. But are you still going to give it to Hunter Sung as a gift? Thomas replied, That's precisely why I want to give this to him. Wouldn't it be a waste for the best weapon in the world like this to just gather dust here? And now before them lay a pair of daggers emitting an incredibly fearsome power. The scene then returns to Korea. A few days later, Woo Jin-chul finally decided to accept the offer to become the new chairman of the Korean Hunter Association. The news quickly spread throughout the media. Meanwhile, elsewhere there was a commotion at the Ajin Guild office. It was because Thomas André was already in Korea and had visited the Ajin Guild office. Jinho, who was informed of this, was slightly frightened. And besides Thomas, there was also Hunter Lennart Nierman waiting. Lennart was the strongest hunter from Germany, ranked 12th on America's hunter list. They had been waiting for Sung Jinwoo's arrival for 2 hours. Lennart thought to himself, even Thomas André came in person looking for Sung Jinwoo. Will I be able to meet Hunter Sung Jinwoo today? After a long wait, Jinwoo finally arrived at the office. Suddenly, Jinho and the other employees were delighted, while Thomas also greeted Jinho. Thomas then said, Hunter Sung, it's been a while. And as I promised, after my hand healed, I wanted to have a meal with you. Besides that, I've also brought you a very impressive gift. How about we find a comfortable place? On one side, Leonard then introduced himself and said, Excuse me, may I join as well? I've been waiting for Hunter Sung for 2 hours. Thomas answered, Where do you think you're going? The information from this moment on is considered top secret, so there's no place for you. Let's go, Hunter Sung. Seeing himself being treated like that, Leonard was slightly annoyed and grumbled, Damn, this is the first time I've been treated like this. In short, Thomas and Jinwoo were now dining together at a very luxurious restaurant. Thomas said, You know, I've been waiting for this moment, Hunter Sung. One of his members then presented a briefcase. Can you first feel the power of this item? This is a gift for your kindness to us, Hunter Sung. Slowly, the briefcase was opened, and at that moment, an incredible pair of daggers came into view. Jinwoo, who saw them, was even shocked and said, Impossible. I sensed the Kamish's aura from these daggers. Thomas replied, I didn't expect you to recognize the material of these daggers just by looking at them once. These daggers are made from the fangs of the Kamish dragon that bit me back then, but who would have thought they'd be useful like this? These daggers are a gift for you, Hunter Sung. Jinwoo then took the daggers and checked their status. The item's name was Kamish's Wrath, high-quality daggers made from a dragon's fang. The ability of these daggers is to adapt to the user's capabilities and can detect mana. Therefore, this weapon's performance depends on the user's ability. After Jinwoo compared the Kamish's Wrath daggers with the Demon King Baran's daggers, Jinwoo was surprised that the Demon King Baran's daggers were nothing compared to the Kamish's Wrath daggers.